Nakamura. My name is Sage Blake. I'm a wanderer, storyteller, artist and mature, and this time on not exactly Sonic, this is Mega Man X in Sonic Blasting World. It's as you think. It's a remake of several different bootleg games that exist, slash fan games. The games in question did as you think. Take Mega Man X and or Mega Man Zero and plug them into Sonic for one reason or another. You got me as to why someone decided to have that idea. But it's a thing. This being a remake, it definitely plays fairly well. Yeah. I wish the controls were a little better though. A, Z, and X for inputs? I don't know about you, but if I'm playing a platformer, I'm not using that specific combination of buttons. I'm more likely going to be using Z, X, and C for my loadout. Specifically because it's a little more functionable, if that makes sense? To have everything, like, across the same row for me. Currently, I have to have, like, my ring finger on A, my pointer on X. And with how I end up playing these types of games, I usually have my pointer finger where either my shoot button or otherwise my jump button is, if I'm playing on a keyboard. Why am I playing on a keyboard? I don't know if this game supports controller, and considering the track record that I've had on some of these entries, maybe I should probably pull out the controller just for prosperity. Whoop. I'd also like to mention, I have no experience with Mega Man X. Classic Mega Man games, I have played to hell and back. I have played every single classic Mega Man game, well, numbered classic Mega Man game, sorry, except for 9 and 11. I want to pick up 11 at some point, but it's always way too expensive, so I never get the chance. Whee! Those are Sonic enemies, except for that JoJo. Arrgh! Enough. Get me through the boss door. Oh no. Okay, never mind. I have nothing to worry about. Green Hill! Well, I guess Mega G-Wolf's advancing the counter now. And then again, I'm not sure if he covers the Sonic Amateur game. No, wait, he does cover the Expo, but even still... he's more into Sonic hacking as opposed to... whoop, fan games. He does cover some fan games on occasions. Arrgh. Why did I think that was a good idea? Got that me. Arrgh. Yeah, let's not test those spikes to make sure that they work, because, I'd like to keep my shoes intact, thank you. They're Adidas. I need this. Where was the joke there, me? Anyway. So far this plays fairly well, all things considered. Ah! Oh, okay, so spikes aren't a one-shot hazard. Good to know. Unfortunately, I had to tear a few holes in my shoes. Oh well, I could pick up a new one. I picked up at least 100 rings. Such moment to mention that, it's kinda weird playing a Sonic-esque game where every time you get hit, you don't drop your rings. You know? Maybe I've just gotten a little too used to it. How could you say no to that smiling face? Jump! Jump! I'll totally jump for that. Ah! Oh! pitiful performance. Alright, what was I saying at one point? Ah, right. My Mega Man experience. I've played pretty much all the classic games except for Mega Man and Base, Mega Man 9, Mega Man 11. As for the Mega Man X series, I think the most that I've ever tried is a bit of X1? And even then, that was at like a convention a long time ago. And I hated it, specifically because of the button layout. It is not what I'm used to. And I had a hard time adjusting. Air dash. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, like, I understand that many people swear by Mega Man X, but yeah, I'm sorry to say, I'm not one of them. If I'm gonna be playing a Mega Man game, it's probably going to be classic, if not Magmantle. Specifically because Magmantle has been such a faithful recreation, reimagining of the original that I have a hard time going back, actually. Nerd! Why didn't I jump there? Me, what are you doing? Yeah! Excuse me? Yeah, this is straight Mega Man music. Whoop! That was close. No! Oh no. This could be a problem. Get me out! No! Not like that! I said get me out, not kill me out! Oh my nut. Seriously, game? Thank you. Scorpion! Actually, thinking about it, I should just continue collecting rangs. Specifically for the sole reason of, hopefully, getting 1-ups. You see, this is what I mean by funky control layout. It's hard to get used to. Granted, I don't exactly have a background in playing games on PC. That was more a recent thing, if anything, that I made a full switch to PC. And even then, I don't play games on PC all that frequently. Occasionally I can, but more often than not, if I play something on PC, I'm using a controller. One, because it's something I'm used to, and two, it's more ergonomic for me. Arthritis, man, it does things to your fingers. Granted, I'm a bit lucky, but even still. That's a good sign. I could still move, I could still get hit. Yeah, let's not. Oh! But yeah, if you see me, playing this game very carefully and cautiously, well, now you know one of the reasons. The other reason, really, is specifically because this is how I play Mega Man. I am a very cautious and careful gamer. I make calculated and careful decisions. I don't just go willy-nilly into where there's danger and hope for the best. That's just not how I function. I prefer to go into things with a plan, and Mega Man is kind of one of those instances where if I don't have a plan, I'm kinda SOL. As a result, I play these types of games very carefully, very methodically. I only go ahead when I know it's safe to proceed, and when I know it's not, I try to evaluate what I can do to make it safe. Whee! That's a mock turtle. This is pretty simple, actually. I think I can, like, get off 2 shots on the turtle, but I'd rather not risk it. Again, this is how I play Mega Man. I'm very careful, methodical. In the case that I have the special weapons necessary to take out a boss quickly, I may consider it, but I'm also one of the types that doesn't mind a good challenge, and as a result, you see me a lot whenever I play Mega Man trying to solo a boss using only the Buster, because I feel like I can get away with it for more bosses than not. And in my eyes, it's a sign of good game design when you're able to do that. Nice shot, me. Done! That's what you get for turtling. There's only one turtle allowed here, and that's me. Actually, I'm a raccoon, but... Oh, this is familiar music. Good. Ah! Woo! Hard panic there. I thought there was gonna be a pit. But yeah, one of the bigger reasons why I end up playing these types of games so carefully and methodically is more often than not, with a classic Mega Man game, you don't really get a dash. Or if you do get a dash, then it's the slide, and I don't exactly use the slide as often to make large jumps. Base is the one who usually does that type of thing, not me. Double Buster! Handy. Double Buster, by the look of it, seems to give me 2 Buster charge shots. That's actually really handy. I think this is a thing that's normally in Mega Man X. Correct me if I'm wrong. Glorious rings! Woo! Pap. But yeah, more often than not, when I'm making pinpoint precise jumps, it's not through the use of a dash. I'm not playing base, I'm playing Mega Man. And as a result, I tend to be very... well, I've already hammered the point home. Careful, cautious. Of course, that's always the case, but more often than not, it tends to be. Donk. I won't say I'm great at Mega Man games. At all. Or games, period. But I at least like to think that when I play a game, I'm fairly... I don't know how to describe it. Just... more often than not, I'm pretty good at figuring out what I'm capable of doing, what I can get away with doing, and then trying to adapt to the rest. Sure, I fall for Gotcha traps on occasions, but I learn, and fairly quickly. Woo! It's a pig! Whee! Oh! Nice shot! I'm not sure if that's supposed to be working like that. That went right through the piggy. Boom! We're having roast boar tonight. Delicious. And now I'm bored. Next stage, please. Funky. Really funky. Always like a nice bit tune. Oh no, it's these platforms. I mean, at least they're not guts lifts? I remember the guts lifts. They were not a happy experience. I could say that for a fact. Oop. Deal with you right quick. So far, this is fairly standard. Oop. Bonk. Another thing that I guess I should mention. My experience, well... My experience with Mega Man Zero has kind of flowers for Algernon to my tastes when it comes to things like dash jumps and, at that, wall jumps. Because both of those are handled super well in the Zero series, to the point that I went into Mega Man X expecting the same, and got disappointed when there wasn't. Ugh. Because there were a lot of fast and precise things that I was able to do within Mega Man Zero that I simply couldn't get away with within Mega Man X, and that left me disappointed. Because I was used to being able to fly across a stage at lightning speed as Zero and slash everything in my way, as opposed to all the shooty. But it wasn't exactly the shooting that turned me off, because, again, Mega Man Zero is a Mega Man game. You can still do a lot of shooting, and if anything, my preferred weapon combos were usually a gun and something else. The gun specifically so I can fire from a distance, and the something else so I could tackle things head-on. More often than not, in 01 and 02, I defaulted to the triple rod. Or the chain rod. In 03, it was the recoil rod. And 04, I had to give the rod, because I didn't get a rod. Oh, I understand. Your name is not Rod. You like jumping around. Good for you. Oh, my health. Oh, my everything. No checkpoints? That's brutal. Well, I guess while I'm making my way back... Mega Man Zero games. I played the hell out of Mega Man Zero. Specifically, Zero Collection, which I understand is a bit of a rarity nowadays, but hey. If possible, I would recommend playing the Mega Man Zero games. They are Mega Man at its finest, I'd say. Outside maybe Mega Man 11, but again, I haven't exactly played Mega Man 11, so I can't exactly give a judgment. Regardless, I would highly recommend, if you're a fan of Mega Man, well, classic series Mega Man, play Zero. You will thank me. Because Mega Man Zero is amazing. It's flowing, it's fun, it's engaging, it's jumping in my general direction. Oh, get to the other side, me. Oh. Ugh! Okay, I think it's about time I decided to try with the controller. See if, 1, it works, and 2, if it can actually make me suck less at the game. Controller. I shall whisper you unto you the magic words. Sasuke! Oh. no, I don't think it's gonna work. Oh no. Oh no. Is there a secondary set of buttons? No, I don't think there is. Oh, good. Be right back. Oh, good. Escape closes the game because Game Maker. Fun. Okay, back after a bit of a delay. My apologies. I want to try out the other character because Zero is, and I'm amazed to say this, plays entirely differently. And not in a good way. Like, on the one hand, it's nice having essentially what is a triple charge, but I don't really like the functionality, if I may. Because, sure, you get two different shots and an additional third attack on top of that, but the third attack is the saber. And I don't like the fact that you get access to something that Zero has by default through charging. It doesn't feel right. Again, it could just be my inner Mega Man Zero bias kicking in, but it feels really awkward to find uses for the saber. Because other than that specific saber attack and maybe the ability to crouch, there aren't many differences, if any, between Zero and X. And that's weird. It almost feels like Zero is the way you should be playing this game as opposed to X, and that doesn't feel right. Granted, that I've seen / heard from reviews from some Call Me Johnny, and yes, I watched his work. Watched it for quite a while, actually. Just, it doesn't look right to me if a Mega Man X game that touts itself as being a Mega Man game of the new era with multiple playable characters has one of those characters be the definitive way to play the game, and the other be the ass way to play the game, if that makes sense. Or the slightly janky way to play the game. Ow. I seriously got hit by that. Okay, then. On top of that, I'd also like to mention, I picked up a couple power-ups. You'll probably see, Krabby? Krabby, what are you doing? Something is wrong with your code. Because you were not moving at all. You should have been moving. What, was it specifically because the shots didn't have time to go off the bottom of the screen? Then you decide, yeah, no, instead, let's, fire again. That's... Oh! Weird! I swear, anytime I fall into a pit, it's because of this goddamn control setup. Granted, again, I will take some of the blame for it. I don't play PC games as often as I should, or rather, I don't play PC games with a keyboard as... That time was on me. That time was on me. I apologize. What?! Hold on. Hold on. Game, you'd better not be telling me what I think you're telling me. Because if you are, we are gonna have some serious words. Then how? How?! I mean, I get it, I break games on the regular, but I didn't think I'd be doing it in Sage After as well. It's bad enough that it happens on stream. Right, what I was gonna mention before things went all topsy-turvy on me. Oh, me. Please. Get some help. The two pickup power-ups that I've collected with Zero. Okay, 3, technically. One of them is the air dash, that sounds standard. But the other 2, and these are especially weird for me to say. Saber shot and armor. I'm actually having trouble processing that. Adding a shot to my saber, which doesn't really need it, and effectively just gives me 3 charge shots with an extra step, and that's kind of weird and not terribly useful in my eyes. Okay, maybe it does have a use. And I'm just not paying attention. Also, no 1-up for 200 rings. Huh? That's a little funky. But the simple fact that one of these upgrades is armor, essentially. And specifically, I think it's just a flat damage reduction, too. Or at least that I'm noticing. That by itself is especially off-putting to me. Again, this is coming from someone who plays Mega Man Zero and not Mega Man X. It doesn't sit right with me. Because within Mega Man Zero, more often than not, you wouldn't exactly get defense upgrades. Sure, you'd get extensions to your HP, but nothing to outright no-cell damage. And in the cases where you would get something to no-cell the damage in some way, shape, or form, it would usually be attached to Cyber Elves. And Cyber Elves were temporary resources. They weren't something you could rely on 24/7. What? Hold it. There's a power-up down here. Quick Chop. Quick Charge. Now it's starting to feel like these power-ups are absolutely mandatory for you to actually do semi-decent in the game, and I know that's not right. Especially since they're kinda hidden. Done. Ugh. Now I'm gonna have to play this back with X to see what types of power-ups he gets. Enter this capsule. Okay, Dr. Fight. Light. Smite. Oh, space. And get a reinforcement to help you with this mission. Good luck. Okay. What type of reinforcement? Oh, just armor to fly. Why is this feeling a lot like Sonic 2 Doomsday Zone? It can't just be me, right? Okay, so I have a shoot button and that's about it. So in that case, let's fully charge this up. Pew. Okay, so all the other power-ups that I've been getting don't function for this mission. then I question why I decided to pick them up. Sega! So far, this is painfully simple. I have 130 rings, and I think that's more than enough. 133. Is there something I'm supposed to be firing at, or is it just a survival mission for like 2 minutes? SFC? Did that say? Ah, there we go. Real butt licks hideouts. So I'm pretty sure I have all the upgrades in the game, so go ham. Unless there's one more somewhere that I'm missing, to which that might be the case. Techno Squeak, not today. And yes, I remember the name of that enemy. Don't tell me you don't. Pick that up. I am more than prepared for this. Again. 2. Just in case. Because now these pits have me paranoid. You again? Seriously? Oh, and now you got warpy bullshit. And you can only be hurt by charge shots. Oh, joy. Oh, joy. I don't like where this is going. Because now it really feels like you need all of the upgrades in order to actually do reasonably well against the boss. That doesn't sit right with me. Because in every other Mega Man game I've played, the upgrades were optional. Sure, you could pick them up, but you didn't have to. Apparently ducking is a little bit overpowered for this boss fight. Chew on that. I wasn't expecting ducking to be so brokenly overpowered. Ah, and end stage. Yay. As usual, never send an X to do a Zero's job. What? So I have to kill him. Within 30 seconds. Sorry, 33 seconds. That's a tight window. Ugh, I don't like this. Because this control layout just does not support doing things in fast, rapid succession. It does not. Oh my... And without the ability to remap, an already difficult mission becomes that much harder. Oh my god. I hate this button layout. This is making it impossible. This is impossible! My fingers! I was going as fast as I could on that run, and I still didn't make it! I can't do this with a keyboard. I physically can't! Oh, you've got to be kidding. I can't complete this stage. This is the end of the stage. Can't go right. No boss is spawning. Was this playtested? Was this specific situation accounted for? I don't think it was. You know, I just looked again at the game files and everything. It says a lot that this is bundled with Joy to Key. I just want to point that out. This is bundled with Joy to Key. Better. Joy to Key doesn't fucking work. This is a perfectly functional USB cord, a perfectly functional DS4 that works on every other game that I play. I tried turning off and having on the DS4 tool to convert it to an Xbox gamepad, and it doesn't work. Because, and I kid you not, two of my face buttons count as S. Two of my face buttons count as A. Oh, no better, all of my face buttons are now counting as R. What the... Now let's see how you deal with this. Because, apparently, there is such a thing as Joy to Key. Answer. It doesn't! If Joy to Key doesn't work, what's the point of having it? I'm just curious. Like, genuinely. Here I thought I was clever, using an entire mapping of WASD for movement and H through L for my actions, with Tab as my pause button. But as it turns out, it does not work! I've said time and time again, the surest way to piss me off is having controls that don't function, or otherwise don't allow you to remap them. Because it's not just a matter of customizability, it's in the cases where, in mine for example, you physically can't deal with the basic keyboard layout because it hurts your fingers to play. And I think that's critical. I think that's an actual ergonomic issue that many people have when it comes to games, and it's such a bother seeing that there isn't the flexibility. I I lack the words. I lack the words. You can't take my controller, you can't take a different keyboard option. You give us joy to key, but joy to key doesn't work. At this point, I'm genuinely curious if, like, you know what? No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Link in the description if you want to try this game for yourself. For me, it's not bad. It functions well. The bosses are interesting, except for one. Maybe two. 3 if you're excluding repeats, and they're all the last 3 bosses of the game. But oh my god, controlling this game is a... It's not a nightmare, I'm not going to hyperbolize on it. It's difficult. For someone like me, it's incredibly difficult. Because again, I don't like having my fingers clustered around A, Z, X, because then my pinky ends up riding on my ring finger, and it's really uncomfortable to play for long periods of time. No lie, I've been recording this for an hour and a half, trying to get footage, and all of that builds up. Hell, by the time I got 30 minutes in, my fingers were starting to hurt, and I wasn't even at the end. That should put this into perspective for you. 30 minutes in, at the worst, and my fingers said, no, I quit. In tandem with that, the package Joy to Key within this as well does not work for me, specifically because I'm an edge case. I use a PlayStation 4 controller, which doesn't play nicely with Xbox or otherwise Joy to Key at all. No lie, I was hitting square, I was hitting cross. Both of those buttons registered as the same button. Triangle and circle registered as the same button. When I got L2 and R2 to work, L2 worked exactly like square, R2 worked exactly like triangle. It does not work. It does not work! And that's painful. Because for a game like this that requires a lot of finicky movements and precise platforming, I need better controls than a keyboard. A keyboard is fine for like first-person shooters and things like that. That's where it's like a 3D game that you have to maneuver around a large environment. But for a 2D game like this, I'm sorry, no, I can't do that. It's a struggle enough for me to play crosscode like this, and I do it decently. But if I were to pick between a keyboard and a mouse or a controller, I would, hands down, 8 times out of 10, pick the controller for crosscode. Hell, other 2D games, I would pick a controller. Even some 3D games, I would rather have a controller, specifically because it's better for me to hold. It's better for me to work around. A keyboard? I'm sorry, I could give all the wrist support I want. I could give myself bracing, I could give myself breaks in between stages. But the fact of the matter is, my fingers don't gel with that. My fingers don't gel with keyboard controls. I'm sorry. I gave it my best. I'd like to think I showed off as much as I could, but I physically can't complete it because of my own mechanical issues. I can't do it. I'm sorry. That isn't to put down the creator's work or anything. I really appreciate it. And again, link is in the description. Feel free to try this out for yourself. Make your own judgments. My words are just a grain of salt. But with all things settled, I think it's about time I return to my void and put some ice on my fingers. Oh. Till again. I'll look